For Phoenix, Arizona, what do you think is the top must-see tourist destination according to U.S. News Travel, and the number 2 top tourist destination according to TripAdvisor? Well, I'll tell you this, it's not an amusement park, a museum, a zoo, a restaurant, a cathedral, a castle, or a mansion, or a park. But it is the Phoenix Desert Botanical Garden. Not only is the Desert Botanical Garden a top tourist attraction in Phoenix, but it is one of the top botanical gardens in the entire United States. According to Travel Channel, it is number 4. Curved.com is number 4. According to 10best.com, it's number 7. According to Condé Nast, it is number 5. According to EcoFile, number 6. PlantSnap.com, number 5. And you get the picture. The list goes on. The garden has a rich history dating back to 1939, when a group of cactus enthusiasts found beauty in desert plants and wanted to preserve them. According to Wikipedia, the Desert Botanical Garden is 140 acres in size and is located in the Papago Park area of central Phoenix. It was founded by the Arizona Cactus and Native Floral Society in 1937 and established at this site in 1939. The garden now has more than 50,000 plants in more than 4,000 species, 1/3 of which are native to the area, including 379 species which are rare, threatened, or endangered. Of special note are the rich collections of agave, that's what tequila is made from, 4,026 plants in 248 species, and cacti, 13,973 plants in 1,320 species. And most of these plants are native to the Sonoran Desert area of southwest U.S., which includes Arizona and a small part of California, as well as northern Mexico. The rest are native to southern South America, and a few are native to Africa.
So here we are, halfway around the world, and here we meet up with Dale Chihuly again. Right, so I'll let you pay. I don't even know what to say. I don't know anything about these kind of plants or trees around here. Yeah. The crested whortleberry cactus. Look at that crazy thing. Wow. Here's another mesquite tree. Learning my trees down here. This one looks a little healthier than some of the others we've seen. Little tiny leaves.
I've had people tell me that they expected to see a barren wasteland or nothing but rock or sand dunes. And people, a lot of people, this one, the Sonoran Desert, is the most lush. Now, why, you say?
Why?
Thank you, that's better. Thank you. Thanks for playing along. Okay, the reason is this. We have 2 rainy seasons here. Winter, which you'd expect because you have that everywhere, but also the summertime. The summertime is our monsoon season, and it's almost always when we get most of our rain. Now, I say most of our rain. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington, so I grew up in a place where there's a lot of rain. Not so much here. How much do you think we average? How much rainfall do you think we average here in Phoenix
3
in a year?
3 inches? No.
Thankfully, a little bit more than that.
I've heard
You
8,
say 12?
6 to 8.
You're right. Perfect. 6 to 8. 7.5.
Wow.
7.5 inches of rain is all we average here in a year. A desert is an area that gets 10 or fewer inches of rain a year. Also has...
Wow. Big ones, little ones, all different shapes. Very prickly. Ow. This one doesn't have any thorns on it at all. Look at this. Look at all these little guys. Now this here, yeah, this is the Sonoran Palo Verde tree. This tree is the state tree of Arizona, And it has, yeah, actually there's several of them. And so they have little tiny leaves, some of the smallest leaves in the world of any tree. Let's get a closer look at it. So these leaves are so small that they really have a hard time photosyntheting. So the bark is green. It's one thing I'm learning. So the photosynthesis takes place through the bark too, because there's chlorophylls in the bark. So that's kind of a neat tree. So as the little sign here says about the Palo Verde tree, like other Arizonians, we're proud of our state tree. The lovely green bark, which is full of chlorophyll, helps it save water, making sugar from sunlight without big green leaves. So the big green leaves, lose a lot of water. So it saves water by having small leaves, by not having to transpire, lose water through its leaves. So this is an agave. It blooms once in a lifetime, and what the flower will be probably pretty spectacular. So this is agave. This is what they make tequila out of. I don't know if this variety or not. So are these all agaves, or are these just different kinds? Agaves. Wow. So are they in the same family? The aloes and the agaves? They're different. Not related at all. Okay, gotcha.
Aloes come from Africa, and they're blooming right now.
Okay.
They bloom every winter.
So you say the aloes don't have thorns, but the agaves.
The aloes have little thorns, but this one has this big needle on the end.
Do all agaves have needles on the end? Oh, interesting. So we've been in Mexico and we've tried the tequilas and stuff, and we learned a little bit about that. But we're from Oregon, so we don't have this kind of stuff.
The thing about agaves is they leave a pattern. You see the pretty?
Oh, the pattern.
Oh, yes. When
Yeah. And you see, there's a pattern underneath.
They're pressed together when they're coming out.
Yeah, and then they've got the thorn on the end, the
Some
aloe.
of them are prettier than.
So here is another agave. There's different kinds. Again, agave is certain varieties of agave is what the tequila comes from down in Mexico. They make tequila from the roots of the certain varieties of agave. But then this agave is, according to the lady there in the garden, it blooms once in a year. It sends up this spike, and then this big shoot. Once in a lifetime, not once in a year. Yeah, it's even more dramatic than that. So this aloe, this must be an agave because it's got a thorn on it on the end. But then these must be aloes because you can feel the aloe vera substance that aloe vera comes from inside, and they don't have a spike on the end. Oh, and they're also blooming, have a flower on it. So this is an aloe, and this is an agave, and they're look similar, but they're two different families. They're not even related. Two different species of plant. So this is an interesting plant, Stapelia. Flies love stinky carrion plants. Marbled red, the fleshy flowers. Flower looks and smells like rotting meat to attract flies. It carries pollen dust to the next flower. Very interesting. That's what these guys are. They've got cacti from all over the world. These are from Morocco. This is an amazing, this one right here from Morocco. Of course, we have different kinds of succulents. Again, they store the water in their leaves to help endure the long periods of time. They live in the desert without water. Here's a Bolivia, a cactus from Bolivia. This thing is about, I'm guessing about 15 feet tall. There's one next to it that's even larger. It's got big old thorns on it that are about 3 or 4 inches long. So this is a barrel cactus. The old Western movies were wrong. You can't get water from this cactus. Don't eat the pulp. Either it's gooey glue the cactus uses to hang on to water. So here's a barrel cactus, totally round. So we're entering the main, where these colored snails are, we're entering the main part of the garden now. Or the main kind of a circle tour takes you around, and then all the other gardens loop off of this one. There's cactus everywhere. This is so cool. I can't believe it. I'm geeking out on this. Get a picture of me and the cactus in the background. All right. There's a big old barrel, giant barrel cactus in there. Look at that big old thing. It's about 3 feet tall and more than 2 feet wide. Here's a cactus skeleton. So cacti don't have trunks per se, but they have a woody skeletal structure. It's like wood. And here's one right here. Right here that is, you can see the bones of it, if you will. And it stands, probably stands up there for quite a while, you know, after the cactus has died. Now there's I'm assuming that's a saguaro cactus back there. And I was just reading about them. This is a small one. They get up to more than 40 feet tall. Some have gotten up to 60. I guess there was a record one that got up to 83 feet tall here in Arizona, and it blew over in a windstorm in 1986. So it's pretty phenomenal. But these saguaro cacti, according to what I was reading on Wikipedia, they can live to be 150, 200 or more years old, and they don't even put out their first arm until they get to be 50 or 75 years old. And you see the woodpecker holes up there. So there's woodpeckers that a lot of these have holes in them from the woodpeckers. So they're habitat trees while they're still living as well. So here's some more very large agaves from southern Mexico. Prickly pear cacti. So right there is an agave that bloomed. Angle the camera up just a little bit. Right, where are we at? I can't quite see on the screen. Anyway, right in here somewhere is and at the base is a squirrel that's sitting there, a ground squirrel. He's like just sitting there quietly inside this prickly agave plant that's just bloomed. So now we're entering the Center for Desert Living Trail. Herb garden, edible garden, and so forth. So we'll go in here and see what there is to explore. So this is an interesting plant that has yellow flowers. Spotted emu. This looks like a bonsai. It's in a little bonsai pot. This is from Australia here. It's actually a type of sage. It smells like sage. I don't think it's not. I don't know what it is. It smells like sage, and there's bees. Oh, the bees are loving it. So here's some cacti that are getting ready to bloom. We're in January, the end of January right now, but they will probably be blooming in, I'm guessing, in March or so, somewhere in there. So that'll be beautiful, but we won't be here. Now here's a little cactus that's starting to bloom. Right here. Little guy right here. Okay, there's the flowers. We'll get him in the center. Little tiny flowers. You can see how small they are. Here, this is like a cyclamen. We have these that grow up in Oregon. So I don't know if this is a cyclamen or not, but it has a leaf and a flower very similar to a cyclamen. So here's a cactus sundial, and it is, you can see what time it is. So here's a very large agave. The thing is probably 7 feet tall, and look at how big these leaves on it are. The thorns on it, and it's got the patterns on the bottom of the leaves, like all the other agaves. Really, really unique and impressive, and it just makes a bold statement. Just like, here I am. I'm going to get a picture of me. This is a cool agave. I'm going to get a picture of me. Here we are. It's bigger than me. Here's a really neat looking plant, native to southeast U.S. and down to tropical Mexico, called a cochineal Napalia cactus. So it's kind of growing up through this Palo Verde tree. This is a moon cactus from Argentina. It's growing kind of viney-like over the top of that stump. Well, a type of blue agave. This is would be a hybridized variety. That's where the X is there. Agave X blue glow. So here's a fern, or a palm that looks like a fern, but it's growing out of a trunk. You see the trunk right down there, but it has leaves very much like a fern. So this is a teddy bear cholla, native to southwest United States and northwest Mexico. So, and I guess it looked like a teddy bear. Notice that most of the desert deciduous trees have very, very small leaves. I don't know what kind of plant this is, but it doesn't say. But they have small leaves, again, to conserve water. Less dehydration in the summer heat, to conserve water and to slow down transpiration. So here is the cardone cactus, native to northwest Mexico. And we saw these, we got pictures of these in north of Cabo San Lucas last year. And these here are about 125, almost 30 feet tall. And they get to be up to 60 feet tall. These are phenomenal. And just to kind of give you an idea, this is how big they are compared to me, or how small I am compared to them. Yeah, here I am. So this one is probably about, it's got numerous branches on it. It is probably about 12 feet wide. It's crown spread. And there's a trunk here. You can see the trunk is probably almost about 24 inches, probably 26, 28 inches in diameter at the ground level. It's a pretty good sized guy. This is called the bujum tree, and it's also native of Baja California, northern Mexico. And this is a narrow little tree. You can see it's just about 12 inches in diameter. Goes straight up, has these little, tiny little leaves on them. They only come out a few feet on either side. It's very tall and spindly, and look at this thing. It just goes up there about 30 feet. This comes to a point, almost a point, and there's little branches that just come out, tiny little branches, little tiny leaves. Here I am next to the bujum tree. And here's the bujum tree next to this building, this adobe building. So notice how it just kind of goes up there. Really cool tree. This is called a red torch cactus, and it snakes around the ground. Well, this one kind of snakes around the ground, and it's native to South America. And here's one that just grows along the ground. Just aim the camera down, and you can just see it just kind of grows right along the ground. Kind of looks like a snake with spines on it. And it's native to Baja California. So most of the cacti in the world are native to the southern, North America and South America. So southern North America, Central America, and then down into South America, probably down south. And then there's a few that are in Africa, and that's pretty much where the cacti are. Most of them are in the vast majority of cactuses or cacti species grow in Mexico, South America, Central America, and southwestern U.S. There's a bird at the top of that cactus. I don't know what kind of bird that is. So I want to get a picture of this hillside just covered with saguaros. So this is the cafe area of the Desert Botanical Garden, and then here's the some more cacti, and then they're growing up this hillside here, these saguaros. So this is a lot of bird life around here. Here's some quail. They're yeah, look at these guys. They're running around the cacti and the agaves, and they're eating crumbs off the floor here. There's a squirrel right up in there, coming down getting some of the crumbs, and here's some of the little quail. The males are the ones that have the big top knots, colorful. Hi, guy. Look at that. He's coming right down here. How are you? I'm sorry, I don't have anything. You're on camera though. On camera, so smile. Some of these quails are not content with the crumbs, so they're eating the flowers off the what looks to me like cyclamens. They're just picking the flowers and chomping down on them. And then I want to walk over here and look at this. I don't know, it's a type of prickly pear cactus. Look at this thing. It's a pretty good size. It's kind of cool. It doesn't say prickly pear. This is a Napo Crenado, southern Mexico type of cactus. Get a picture of these cacti. There's quail here down here too. And there's some cool ones over growing into these mesquite trees. So this is about the tallest saguaro cactus here in the garden. It looks like it's about 30 feet tall, kind of a cutie. And we're up above the garden a little bit on the side of this hill. And you can look down and kind of see just an overview of at least part of the garden. You can see the red rocks in the background. Kind of neat the way they rise up. So here we see the roots, the trunk, if you will, the rib structure of a cactus. I don't know what kind this was, if it was a saguaro or what, but you can see the woody framework. And there's the trunk. It got dyed and busted off, and now it will decompose and help to form a new layer of humus, topsoil, if you will.